Hello, Derek Rougeau here with Rougeau Knives, and in this next video I am experimenting with different dies and stamping techniques to figure out what I want to do with my leather armor and costume. So as you can see here, I have some samples that I was working with. This one here, I'm trying to do a hammered steel look underneath, so it looks like it's underneath the leather and then the leather's wrapped over the steel, and give it an aged, distressed look. And these pieces here were successful. This piece wasn't. As you can see, the steel here on this one looks really good, and this one here got washed out. What I'm using is this here, which is the Professional Water Stain Silver. So there's silver flake in it. And then once I wet the leather and stamp out my pattern, I painted it with the silver inside here, and then I did a wash of antique gel, which yeah, they put the color, they hit it now. Oh, there it is. Okay, this one's black, and then this one is saddle tan, and I mixed 50-50 with these two gels. Mix and then add a little bit of water and then a wet sponge, and then just wash the whole thing with that mixture. And what had happened is the moisture within the gels ended up smearing off a lot of the silver, so it didn't come out right. So that didn't work. So then I moved to this. I did the same thing, silver on the stamped inner area, and then I used EcoFlow Super Sheen, and I painted just on top of the silver. It was a little tedious. You have to use a brush and just paint right on top of it so it seals it nicely. And then I came on top of that with the two antique gels, 50-50, with a wet sponge, and just did a wash over everything. And it actually put a patina on top of this steel, which gave it a nice warm steel look that's been aged. And that's what I'm looking for. I don't want this outfit to look new. I want it to look like it's been through the weather and it's been used for years. And then after I was successful with that, I really liked the way that came out. And then I also did this test piece just to see how the antique gels with the mixture of black and saddle tan looked. This was a little lighter. I went more black, so I ended up going 50-50 on everything. And then after that, I sealed it with acrylic. I think it's EcoFlow acrylic, and that was my test pieces, and I was really happy with it. So this is what this is the treatment I'm going to be doing for all the leather work on the outfit. So after I was successful with my test, I did a couple wristbands just to practice and also test out the steel effect with the new mixture, because the one I showed you, which was this, it's not 50-50. It's not saddle tan and black gels 50-50. I wanted to go a little darker. It's a little light. So then I went 50-50, and it turned out much darker. You get more black distressed coloring in there, and that's what I'm really looking for. Like you've been sitting around campfires and out in the wilderness and mud and getting all dirty. And then I riveted the straps. I'm on the final product, I'm going to do the straps differently. I'm going to actually stitch along here and then do one rivet. Let me show you here. When the straps curl around, they're starting to lift at the points. And if I stitch this, you'll get less of that lifting and snagging on stuff. So that's what I'm shooting for on that. So these were just a couple test pieces. Then we have my pouch for my phone, keys, and whatnot. There's a snap on it, so it's laced. And do the lace, and it opens up pretty big. Stick all your stuff in there. It has a snap, so you can snap it temporarily, and then also a snap for your belt loop. It's been stitched. That way you can take it on and off the belt without having to disassemble the outfit. And it's got this artificial leather stamped lizard skin. So easy to put back together. A little pouch. And the next piece I finished is the rear pouch for holding water. I ended up doing this X pattern stamp to coincide with kind of keeping the X pattern throughout the whole design. It turned out as a nice trim, and then the little spike retainer, and then the lacing. The back has snaps for being able to take it off and on the belt, which makes it a little more convenient if you want to remove it. And then inside I have a plastic water bottle, or you can go with, bought water at events or something like this. So that way you can hold at least 2 small water bottles for hydration. So there's the pouch. A little big for my, what I was hoping to go a little smaller, but it was important to carry enough water. Next is my Viking drinking horn. I thought this would be a nice accent for the whole costume. It has a steel stamp on the side and then laced in the front. And then I added a lid. A lot of drinking horns I saw online don't have lids. And then I have the little retaining strap here. It fits pretty tightly. It's a thick piece of rubber that I ground down perfectly to fit inside, and then fasten the whole thing together with a leather cap. And then your belt loop, retaining strap. And then the horn itself, when you pick up these horns, they're pretty raw. They sand them, grind them, and sand them, and then I think they sandblasted them. That's the way it felt. And the interiors, they clean them out pretty good, but you can't just start drinking out of them. The outer surface I ended up sealing with True Oil. So I had some extra True Oil and I wanted to use some of it up. So I used True Oil to seal the outer surface of it, which made it nice, really brought out the color and made it look really nice. That was 6 coats. In between each coat I had steel wool sand it. So that's the outside. The inside was coated with beeswax. So just bought some beeswax, stuffed it in a can and stuck it in some boiling water, in a pot with boiling water, and I still have quite a bit left. And then once that liquefies, you pour it in, pour it out, pour it in, pour it out, and you just coat the inside of it. I looked at using a resin or like an epoxy or a polyurethane, but I could not find anything that was safe. Everything I read, even the food grade polyurethanes for cutting boards, I called them and talked to them, and they said, yeah, if you're going to have a liquid sitting in there for an extended period of time, it may leach chemicals out. So beeswax is the safest way to go. What else? I'm going to be using it for mainly water, beer, and mead. I won't be putting any hot liquids in it because it will melt the wax, or any distilled alcohols like whiskeys or bourbons or vodka or anything like that, because those intense, those high alcohol beverages would probably start to eat away at the wax. So in regards to beverages, I thought I'd go ahead and talk a little bit about a mead I like. This mead here is really good. Let me see if we can get close up. There you go. I've tried different meads, and basically mead is it's a honey wine. So there's obviously different kinds of meads out there. One, you have the light meads, which are very dry. They're not very, they're not very sweet, and then just a little on the plain side for my taste, but it's very dry. This one here is in the middle, or then you go to the dark. Okay, so the darks are really sweet, really pungent with the honey flavor, a lot of floral aromas in it. They're good, but they're a little they're more like a dessert wine. You don't want to drink a lot of it. It's just too sweet. And then this one's in the middle of the road, and it's my favorite. So it's it's a little sweeter. It's got great aroma, great honey flavor. I tried it in this horn. Even if you smell this horn right now, it has a very strong honey wax scent, and it just really brings out the flavor in this in a medium type of mead. And then you have meads that are flavored, so they put apricots or rose petals or whatever in these other flavored meads. But I typically stick to the basics. I like this brand. So there's my my main drinking horn with the lid. I ended up making a second one, and this is more for if me and a buddy want to go to one of the beer festivals that come into town and do some sampling. It'd be fun to have your own Viking drinking horn. And another thing I noticed is I pulled out my original knife, the first knife I made, and it's actually the coloring of the leather and everything is really matching this outfit. So, for the time being, before I make my swords and knife for this costume, I can always use this as a blade with the outfit. And I've been using it, and it has quite a patina on the blade now. So anyway, there's some accessories. The way the dye job's going to look on the whole outfit, and the drinking horns, and I might make some other accessories, but at this point it's moving forward and actually cutting all the leather based off the templates I had made. Thanks for watching.